$42 million in production research. The total includes the leverage for over $1.5 million in the National Peanut Board's funding of other industry partners such as NIFA, which matches some of the funds from the USDA. Funding production research to increase efficiencies for America's peanut farmers and their families is a core part of the board's mission. During the recent meeting, the staff also heard an update of their strategic plan for next year, which includes more production research and promotion. They also talked to the Leadership Academy that they're sponsoring at this time, and that program will continue this year.
You're going to need me.
You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need our technical skills,
our math, our engineering skills.
You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food.
You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills.
You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring.
And we promise, we'll be there when you need us.
Today, 4-H is growing the next generation of leaders. Support us at 4h.org.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Near record-breaking high temperatures today, a very warm day with partly sunny skies, an afternoon shower in spots, and a high of 83 to 87. Partly cloudy tonight, low 65 to 69, and variable cloudiness Tuesday with a few showers and a high of 85 to 89. Very warm Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, and a high of 87 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, first Monday of every month, we welcome in the Chief of Police from the Ocala Police Department, Mike Balkin. He is unavoidably detained this morning, so he sent in his stead the major over major crimes, Major Greg Martin. Greg, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. How are you doing?
Good. Been a while since you and I have done any kind of radio or television together, but it's always a fun time.
It's been a while, and I'm glad to be back.
Well, I think both of us have been suffering some health issues, though, here in the last 6-7 months. So yeah. I'm glad to see you're back and healthy.
I'm feeling like a machine right now.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling like a fat, out-of-shape guy that could die at any moment. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's true. You got to live each day like it's your last, right?
We do. Speaking of living your day like it's every last week, we do have to bring up some stuff that isn't the best to talk about, but it is what you do on a daily basis. There's been what people would call a rash of shootings over the last 3 months, really, December, January, February, in and around Marion County, not just in the city, but in the county too. But the city's had its fair share of shootings. But if you really look at the map on where these shootings occur, it's really localized to certain, it's not like it's citywide. It's really localized to certain areas. And I bet those areas probably are areas with issues with drugs and gangs and stuff like that, if I had to look at the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you know, the biggest concern in the city when people hear about shootings is they talk about, are these things random? Are they specifically targeted? Are they known assailants? And, you know, the one thing I can assure the people in the city of Ocala is there's not people just randomly driving around town shooting at people. So you can rest assured that's not occurring. Unfortunately, this younger generation of people, and I think we briefly talked about this years past, The days of having disagreements with people and going out in the front yard and having a fisticuffs and moving on with your life is lost.
Over.
It's over. Which is why I caution people today when you see videos of the older generation. I shouldn't say older generation, but people in my generation that always want to confront these young kids about instances, not realizing that they're going to pull a gun before they pull a fist. But you're right. Predominantly, most of these areas within the city are high crime areas. I wouldn't necessarily call them, drug-ridden areas, but
high crime.
High crime. You have domestic issues. You have aggravated assaults. You have people pulling weapons.
Robberies.
Yeah, a lot of these areas in the city that are high crime areas typically are areas where we have the majority of our shootings.
When you talk about these shootings, though, they're not random, even in the instance of just who it is. They're all like a lot of them are connected.
Yeah, the majority of them are all connected. I mean, without going into too much detail, I mean, the city and the county both, we have a great relationship with the county, obviously because the sheriff used to work for the city. So our detectives work closely together, and we have an intel unit as well that kind of puts efforts into this. But yes, they're connected. So a lot of these youth, this younger generation, are still affiliated with gangs. They want to call them gangs. You can call them turf wars, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, they're connected. So typically, what we do from our perspective is we try to look forward. We try to look in the future to find out, okay, hey, we had one here. Is this group affiliated with another group? Is this retaliation for another shooting? If so, where can we put all of our resources to try to make sure we can to prevent it? So, yes, retaliation shootings are very dominant because.
And they can happen anywhere. That's the scary thing.
That's the scary part. Yes, it can happen anywhere. So typically when
the mall, some people say, what happened at the mall?
Yep.
I'm to understand that was a retaliatory shooting.
You're 100% correct. So it's all about timing. They drive around. They all of a sudden see the person they've been looking for 4 weeks.
There's Bubba. Let's go get him.
Exactly. So that would be the kind of the odd man out situation where you're at a movie theater or you're at Walmart and somebody sees somebody there. They don't typically do that. It's not very common for that to happen. But that's always a risk that they see somebody they've been looking for because they're hiding out and they shoot them in a location that's uncommon for that.
Yeah, and it's people think that it makes it an unsafe city. We have a very safe city. Do we? I mean, when you look at crime stats, y'all look at them all the time. Crimes across the board not increasing, it's decreasing.
Yeah, I just sat with the chief the other day, and the one thing I can assure people is the chief is, by the way, Chief Balkin is doing a phenomenal job at our agency right now, and he's preparing to sit down with the city manager and council and do a presentation for our budget and so forth. And the one thing that was interesting in his strategic plan meeting was looking at a few agencies that are comparable in size, comparable in population. And it's astonishing to me to see the work that the men and women are doing here in the city of Ocala and at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Part 1 violent crime cases, arrests. It's not even remotely close to these other cities. So
that are comparable in size.
They're comparable in size. We're knocking out of the park, not to toot our own horns, but the chief and the sheriff do a great job. We're connected with the community. They're always taking information that's coming in and we're analyzing it and trying to plan in our crime stat meetings and how to combat it. So, this is an incredibly safe city. That people think that just because you go to different cities that it's based on population, and sometimes you don't think there's crime. You can go to Wildwood and go to the west side of Wildwood, and they have crime that is
bad crime.
Bad crime, right? Our city is safe. A lot of the high violent crime areas are so small, so specific, and sometimes that's where your numbers come from those smaller communities where the crime is kind of high.
Well, I'll give you a case in point. If you ask somebody what's the most unsafe city in America, a lot of people would immediately say Chicago. But the tourist area of Chicago and everything, the downtown area of Chicago, one of the safest places ever. But the high crime areas in Chicago, very pointed areas, are dangerous to go to for anybody. And so you would think the city of Chicago is a dangerous place to be. It's not as dangerous as it looks. The news media makes it. It's just concentrated in certain areas.
There's so many people in Chicago. There's so many people in those cities to where when the numbers are high, it's based on population. But you're correct. I've never been to Chicago. Always want to go. But I've been to downtown Philadelphia, to where if you're 2 blocks off Broad Street, you better wear a mouthpiece and a helmet, right? But if you're in the general downtown area, it's very safe. So Like most cities, I think the crime is consolidated to particular areas that is drug-ridden,
and
poverty-stricken, right? Yeah. And that's why you have some of the high crime. But Ocala is a very safe place to live.
I think a lot of plus points are made for you guys, and we'll talk about this because we got to take a break here in a minute. But we'll talk about this coming out. But I want to bring this up, and we'll talk about it after the break. Last week, there was a report in the Ocala Star-Banner about an officer who was in a 3-car accident, and the officer was ticketed for the accident. The officer was suspended without pay for 8 hours. His take-home privileges were taken from him for, I think, 7 days for taking his car home, all because he had a moving violation that in the investigation had shown he was at fault for all of this.
Correct.
When we get back, I want to ask you, when you're that transparent, when you don't have to make that known, right. When you're that transparent, how far that goes to help with community relations? We'll get an answer to that question.
Sure.
After the break, I'm talking with Major Greg Martin of the Ocala Police Department. He's in charge of major crimes. We'll be back more with him after this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Suffering from neck, back, or leg pain? Go Green CBD Store can help you with holistic, all-natural, lab-tested products that help with pain, stress, anxiety, inflammation, PTSD, and so much more. We stock smokable products, gummies, chocolate, coffee, tea, even pain cream. Yes, we even have treats and oils for your dogs or cats. Go Green CBD is located in the Paddock Mall in the center court. We're open every day. Come in today for a free sample.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Hey there, I have a question for you. Is your roof asphalt and does it look like it needs replacement? Did you get quotes and were you in sticker shock? Would you like to save not hundreds, but thousands of dollars? Did you call RoofMax? Well, call RoofMax with their patent-pending technology, which can add years to your roof without needing to replace it. And it's easy. You just pick up the phone for a free quote. Plus, they use state-of-the-art satellite technology to measure your roof. So, if your roof is over 7 years old, then you should call RoofMax today at 352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to get involved with the conversation. Major Greg Martin is in the building with us. He is in charge of major crimes. When people say major crimes, before we get to the question I had to ask you, when people say major crimes, what is really, I mean, I know murder, I know armed robbery. What else is a major crime?
Well, it's funny you say that. If you had your house broken into and someone stole your golf clubs, would that be a major crime?
That'd be a killable offense.
So, Investigations Bureau is probably the better way to explain it. But
so you're not Hank and those guys in major crimes on Chicago PD.
Major crimes is exactly what you discussed. It's any type of violent crime against person. You have homicide. Any type of sexual assault, aggravated assault, anything with a firearm, a knife, robbery, so forth. I mean, then you have property crimes, which is equally as important, but it's more geared towards stealing cars or breaking into homes or commercial structures and so forth. So, but yeah, major crime sounds cool, doesn't it?
It does sound cool.
It sounds pretty cool.
That sounds.
And if they stole your golf clubs, that'd be a major crime.
The fact that I play golf is a major crime.
It is true. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Good.
It's pretty
not
ugly.
Good. It's not good.
It's all right.
Well, let's get back to the question we had. You had an officer who was on duty, responding to a backup. He was going to back up another officer who had called for backup.
Yep.
In the interim, he was trying to ease out into traffic, as everybody does. We've all done it before, where you stick the nose of your car in the eastbound lane, you get it all clear, try to stick the nose of your car in the westbound lane. Some people let you in. This time, a lady didn't see him, didn't let him in. There was a traffic accident. Subsequently, a third car was involved. Yep. It was after the investigation, it was deemed that the officer was at fault for failure to yield right away. And so all of this was done, and it was publicly done, where the newspaper had it, told everybody what his penalty was, that he was losing 8 hours of pay, that he was losing his take-home privileges, that he had had to go to class so he didn't get points on his license and everything, just like any John Q. citizen would have to go through.
Exactly.
If you got pulled over.
Right.
And what made me not happy, but what made me appreciative of how the police department handles this is that was such, even though it was a traffic accident, in the grand scheme of things, that's such a minor violation that it could have just been handled in-house and nobody ever known the outcome of it, and I'd have been okay with that.
Right.
But that's not how you guys, to make sure the community trusts you guys.
Right.
The transparency, I mean, it's got to be second to none across the law enforcement field.
Yeah, Chief Balkin he loves accountability, as do most supervisors, most people. I mean, even down to our patrol officers, it's all about accountability, right? Transparency is also best as well. I don't know that maybe in years past, I know Chief Graham did a great job with transparency. There are some agencies that aren't transparent at all.
At all.
And that's one of the reasons why we have such great community trust, is because our department has always been transparent. And a lot of people have questions. They say to themselves, well, how can somebody do this and do that and not be held accountable for their actions? Well, we are. We are very, very tough on our own people when it comes to those types of things. And yes, when officers are involved in crashes, there are some times where if you're involved in a code run, sometimes the investigations take a little longer because it's held internally. But the minute the investigation is over with, our chief's always been transparent. But if I'm out driving around right now and get pulled over, or I get into a crash and I'm not responding code to something, which means if, Tom, you call because someone's breaking into your garage stealing your golf clubs, and I'm running code to your house and get involved in a crash, that type of crash may be investigated differently because I'm responding code.
Right.
But if I run into the back of you at a traffic light because I got my head not where it needs to be, then we get cited. Our supervisors, our sergeants will cite our officers on scene that day for the crash, being at fault for the crash. So being transparent to the public, I mean, the one thing that's difficult is sometimes when we have other people involved, when there's investigations and people are involved, sometimes that has to take a little longer, and we have to keep that under, kind of behind closed doors, because we have to protect the integrity of the investigation. But the minute those investigations are complete, we've always been transparent with our community.
A lot of police, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's just I know how transparent this police department is. But a lot of police departments have said, look, he had just gotten a call. He was on his way to back up an officer who was on a call. No, he didn't have his lights on, but he was going to a call. That's just part of what we do. Sorry, accident, let's move on.
Yep.
But that's not how it was handled. And by the way, I would bet that a lot of people wouldn't see fault with it being handled that way.
Yeah.
But Mike Balkin in the police department, Ocala Police, would see the problem with it handled that way and handles it just as if it was John Q. Public.
Yeah, we're trying to, the city in general, not just the police department, the last couple of years, sitting in meetings now as a major, you get to see some of some different backgrounds of the way things are handled in the city. And the one thing that they're trying to reduce citywide is crashes, right? There's so many distractions that we have in the cars. And I know Chief Balkin's taken an aggressive stance on making sure our officers are off their phones because we have laptops. He's currently looking into programs which will black out the computer screen, so that way when we're rolling past 5 or 6 miles an hour, that blacks them out and we can't be distracted. But there's a lot going on, not just in the police department, but also working for water and sewer and all these different types. So yes, holding us accountable for our actions is a priority for the chief. Safety is a priority citywide. But also transparency, so that way it takes away some of those questions that the people have, whether or not we are actually being held accountable for our actions.
Well, I just thought it was just not amazing, but I thought it was great that we saw something is what a lot of people would deem as a minor. Nobody was injured. The people were taken to the hospital, but nobody got seriously injured. It was just a car crash. It happens every day all across this country, but yet we got to know as citizens that an officer was at fault. Here's the penalty that officer faced. And here's what he's got to do going forward to get back. And
no different than you.
But that's not something. But that goes back to, and I remember Greg Graham used to say this, and I know Mike Balkin's of the same ilk, that the badge is a job. It's not a person. And you have to be treated just as any other person, whether you wear the badge or not. And Greg used to tell me all the time, the late chief, and Mike says the same thing. When the badge comes, nothing personal. I don't have anything personal when the person has a police officer has a badge on, none of the officers have anything personal against anybody they're interacting with. They're doing their job.
Right.
A lot of people want to say, a cop, he gets that badge, and he's trying to make up for when he was a geek in high school. You've heard all that before. You've heard all those arguments before.
Yeah, you've heard them all. But Chief Balkin's correct. We're no different than anyone else. I say to everybody else, we're not different. We're no different. It's just a job. So, treating and making sure that our citizens in the city know that we're not being treated any differently. So, if we make a mistake, we're held accountable for our actions. And sometimes you may not see it. A lot of agencies choose not to exploit that, but our chief's very transparent with the community. Very transparent.
Which I think goes a long way into making sure that the leaders of this community,
correct,
the community leaders, are in good standing with the police department, which is unique because a lot of cities you see community leaders fight tooth and nail against the police department and stuff like that. That doesn't happen here very often.
No, it doesn't. And it's incredibly important when you look at the last couple of years, the climate of this country, and we won't go into that too deep, but the one thing that has always been on our side, even for my almost 26 years I've been there, is we've got great relationships with our community leaders. They support our agency, and we do everything we possibly can to make sure that we hear their concerns and do the best we can to support them.
The open door policy goes a long way. Mike Balkin said it. Greg Graham said it. Mike Balkin says it. Billy Wood said it.
Yes.
Their doors are always open.
Always open.
They'll take any meeting. They'll take any call if it concerns. If a community leader has any concerns, they're always open to discuss those. So
you bet.
Coming back, we'll have a little more with Major Greg Martin. Can you stick around a little while?
I can stick around. Yeah, let's talk some sports.
We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll talk some sports. Who knows what we may talk with the Major. Coming back after this timeout, you're listening to Ocala Talks. This is 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
After two ceasefires were broken by Russia in recent days with bombs hitting the fleeing civilians, another ceasefire has been announced Monday in Ukraine. Previous such measures have fallen apart, and Moscow's armed forces continued to pummel some Ukrainian cities with rockets even after the announcement this morning. The official global death toll from COVID-19 surpassed 6 million people on Monday. The milestone recorded by Johns Hopkins University is the latest tragic reminder of the unrelenting nature of this pandemic. Hundreds of truckers in a giant convoy have spent the past week transversing the country, and they're now heading to D.C. to protest COVID-19 mask and vaccine mandates. Jim, a tractor-trailer driver from Colorado on WUSA 9, says he wants his voice to be heard.
The main thing is, for me, is for them to take off the Emergency Act, because I feel like that as long as that's on, they can do just about whatever they want.
USA Radio News.
We're out of the brand name, but we do have the generic version of
Serene's Pharmacy can't keep up with allergy season.
Who's next in line?
They need certified technicians to alleviate the headache.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry for the wait. We'll have your prescription filled soon. I need some help.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You've heard us talk about the luxurious Giza Dream Sheets from MyPillow. Well, now they're on sale, 60% off, as low as $39.99. Lots of other overstock items and a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds from Crack Addict to CEO, with any purchase, but you've got to use my promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, the Radio Listener Square, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175.
New arrivals and new savings are waiting for you at Blockers Furniture. With over 80,000 square feet of the best selection and best prices you can find on furniture, mattresses, home accents, accessories, and more. And with new trucks arriving weekly, Blockers has the best available in-stock selection. Unlike many other furniture companies that will have you waiting for months to get what you want or need, come see everything that Blockers has to offer. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, next to Hobby Lobby.
The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant, a true New York-style diner in Ocala. Try our breakfast special of 2 eggs served with home fries or hash browns and toast for just $4.49. We have an all-you-can-eat catfish special daily for $14.99, and Thursday through Sunday we have prime rib. Happy hour for food starts at 2 p.m. The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant is located at 5400 Southwest College Road in the Heathbrook Commons Plaza. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. We will see you soon.
Are you a veteran living in Florida? Do you want to earn while you learn? Call 954-434-8220 or visit our website at nsied.org now. Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants training in farming, ranching, and allied services? Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants help with job placement? Call 954-434-8220. North-South Institute Veteran Training Program is a mix of online and hands-on in-person training designed for you to earn while you learn. Once you register for the program, you'll get a stipend of approximately $300 per month for 3 months. And you can get an additional stipend to offset your travel expenses. You can also get another $75 for referring a veteran who completes the program. If you are a veteran living in Florida, call the North-South Institute Veteran Training Program now, 954-434-8220, or visit our website at nsied.org now.
On Saturday, March 19th, the University Air Center will host the Gator Fly-In and Armed Services Appreciation Day. All branches of the military are invited, alongside civilian and law enforcement pilots, to display their aircraft. Vote for the best civilian aircraft and People's Choice Air